Hi all, I am Nia Eddin, Assistant Professor St. Albans College, Autonomous Ernakulam. So today we're going to discuss about the topic called entrepreneur. We all are familiar with the word called entrepreneur. And in this session, we're going to discuss more about entrepreneur and its characteristics and its functions of an entrepreneur. So, the word entrepreneur is derived from the French word entreprendre, meaning to undertake. In fact, in 16th century, the Frenchmen who undertook military expeditions were referred to as entrepreneurs. Later on, in the 18th century, this term got associated with persons who started their own enterprises. Richard Cantillon, an Irishman living in France, was the first economist who introduced the term entrepreneur, reference to the risk-taking functions of establishing a new venture. Generally speaking, entrepreneur refers to persons who establishes his own business or industrial undertakings with a view to making profit. And entrepreneur is considered to be an originator of a business venture. He takes the role of an organizer in the process of production. And we are familiar with various kinds of definitions regarding entrepreneurs. And we are moving towards the main important definitions regarding entrepreneurs. And according to J.B. Say, an entrepreneur is the economic agent who unites all means of production. And according to Peter Drucker, entrepreneur is one who always searches for change, responds to it, and exploit it as an opportunity. Innovation is specific tool of entrepreneurs, the means by which the exploiting changes an opportunity for different business or service. These are the main two definitions regarding entrepreneur. Thus, an entrepreneur always action oriented. He has the ability to visualize the necessary steps involved from idea generation to its actualization. He is both a thinker and a doer, planner and worker. He accepts risk and emerges its. All the above definition portray an entrepreneur as an initiator of an action, simulator of a social economic change, and harnesser of a resource. So we discuss general informations regarding entrepreneur, and we are moving towards the next one, that is characteristics of an entrepreneur. Anybody can become an entrepreneur provided he has got a certain set of behavioral traits and mental aptitude. His success depends more on hard work, more on good luck. He must be a doer, not a dreamer. The success of an entrepreneur depends largely on his intelligence, imagination, capacity to innovate, and his ability to turn visions into reality. It is not necessary that he should possess a professor's intelligence, profits foreseeing capacity, a salesman's persuasiveness, a banker's financial talent, or politician's power, a film star's magnetic personality, and so on. The only capacity very essential to become an entrepreneur is the willingness to work hard. There are certain characteristics features which make an entrepreneur successful in his venture. And the first one is hard work. A successful entrepreneur is one who is willing to work hard from the very beginning of his enterprise. An entrepreneur with his tenacity and hard work and perseverance can divide his business even from on the verge of collapse. And hard work is one of the most important characteristics that need to be a good entrepreneur. And next is business acumen and sincerity. Business acumen stands for shrewdness and ability. Again, the success of an enterprise depends upon the sincerity of people behind the enterprise. If a person is sincere about a venture, he have more heaven and earth to make it a success. And next is prudence. A successful entrepreneur must be prudent in all his dealings. He should have the ability to work out in the details out of the venture from all angles. assess the favorable factors and pitfalls, take suitable measures to overcome the pitfalls. And the next is achievement motivation. The achievement motivation is most important characteristics of an entrepreneur, since all other characteristics emanate from his motivation. He must have a strong desire to achieve high desired goals in achievements. In fact, this achievement motivation helps to the amount the obstacles suppress and anxieties repairs for tunes and device plans success. So the next is self-reliance and independence. A successful entrepreneur was to follow his own routine policies and procedures, and he does not like to be guided by others. He is found to be self reliant by acting as his own master and making him responsible for all his decisions. He doesn't like to work for others. And next is highly optimistic. Successful entrepreneur is always optimistic about his future and he is never disturbed by the present problems. He always expects a favorable situation for his business and hence he is able to run his business successfully in the midst of temporary hurdles. He does not allow the past to obsess him. And the moving to the next one, that is keen foresight. An entrepreneur must have keen foresight to predict the future business environment. He must have the capacity to visualize the likely changes to take place in the market, customers' attitude, technological developments, government policies, etc., and take timely actions accordingly. And next is planning and organizing ability. An entrepreneur is a firm believer in planning and systematic work. Above all, he must have the ability to bring together all scattered resources required for starting up a new venture. And next is innovativeness. When all said and done, innovation becomes a different task. One should be always innovative to satisfy the varying demands for customers. For this purpose, the entrepreneur should initiate research and innovative activities to produce new goods and services. It is a never ending process. And next is risk taking. An entrepreneur is not a gambler and hence he should not assume high risk. However, he must love a moderate risk situation and to be exciting but fairly reasonable chance to win. And the next characteristic is secrecy maintenance. A successful entrepreneur must be capable of maintaining on guarding on his business secrets. Leakage of business secrets to trade competitors will definitely lead to the downfall of his business. Hence, he should be very careful in selecting subordinates. And next is maintenance of public relations. The extent of maintenance of public relations or human relations has a vital role to play a success of failure of an entrepreneur. A successful entrepreneur must have cordial relations with his customers to gain their continued patronage and support. He must also maintain good relations with his employees with a view to motivating them to higher levels of efficiency. Similarly, he must maintain good relations with his suppliers, creditors, and the community at large so that he may succeed in his ventures. And the last one is communication skill. Communication skill is the secret of the success of most entrepreneurs. Good communication skill enables them to put their points across effectively and with clarity and by hence them to win customers. And now we are moving towards the next topic that is regarding entrepreneurs, that is functions of an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is an agent who buys various factors of production with a view to combining them into a finished product which can be sold in the market. While doing so, he has to perform certain functions. And the first one is risk assumption function. An entrepreneur has to necessarily act as a risk bearing agent of a production since he has to bear a greater amount of uncertainties in business. In term, uncertainty refers to more than any ordinary risk. Ordinary risk can be measured and insured, whereas risk due to uncertainty cannot be insured and it is incalculable also. For instance, risk due to the possibility of change in the taste of customers, changes in fashion, technical production, new inventions, etc., cannot be ensured. But an entrepreneur has to undertake and face such uncertainties. The entrepreneur assumes this risk and tries to reduce these uncertainties by his initiatives, skill, and admirable ability. And the next one is decision making function. Very interesting of the business is development, and entrepreneur has to take decisions at various stages. He has to decide the nature and type of goods to be produced, the size of the business, its location, its technique of production, etc. A successful entrepreneur, one who takes sound decisions at the appropriate time so that his business may succeed. And moving towards the next function, that is managerial function. An entrepreneur has to perform the managerial functions also. Managerial functions are nothing but functions of coordination, organization, and supervision. An entrepreneur is one who combines the land of one, the labor of another, and the capital of yet another, and thus produce a product. While undertaking an enterprise, he has to perform all managerial functions starting with planning and ending with control. And the last function is of an entrepreneur is function of innovation. Innovation is an important function of an entrepreneur. In this context, one should know the distinction between an investor and the innovator. The person who discovers new methods, new materials, new machines is called an inventor. But a person who utilizes these inventions so as to make new combination of products is called an innovator. Innovation is never ending process and in fact is an ongoing function. Thus, an entrepreneur has to be always in lookout to introduce a new product or a new production technology or open a new market. They though tap the discovered a new source of supply of materials. Innovators are always successful in their ventures, and these four are the major functions of an entrepreneur. And here we discuss certain important informations regarding entrepreneur. And have a nice day. Thank you all for hearing me. Thank you so much.